Today's video topic is quite possibly the most controversial and the most debated issue in all of youth baseball. It involves everybody from the player to the parent to the coach. Can you think of what it is? Playing time. Yep, that's it. Playing time in youth baseball is a huge issue for most teams, mostly because there's almost always a disagreement between the coach and the parents of which players are playing and how much they're playing. Most players think that they have no control over how much playing time they get, and it's all in the coach's hands, and they just hope that things change. In today's Bullpen Bulletin, I'm letting you know that you have full control over how much playing time you get, and I'm giving you 5 tips that you can do today to get more playing time for your team. Hey team, I'm Coach Hart, this is Building Better Baseball, and this is the best place for baseball education. If we've never met before, I want to say welcome to the team. If we've already met, then welcome back. This channel is specifically for youth baseball players and coaches and beginner players to help you out in your baseball journey. I come out with weekly videos to help you in all areas of baseball, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you'd like more after this. And plus, at the end of every video, don't miss out, I always have a free PDF downloadable guide for you that you can take with you so you can take your game even further after this video is done. But now, let's make sure that we get the most playing time possible. Tip number 1 is, it's pretty simple, it's ask your coach. This is probably the simplest thing that you can do to get more playing time. Now, let me clarify. I said it was the simplest. I didn't say it was the easiest. Trust me, I know from experience that approaching a coach about anything can be intimidating and difficult, especially if that coach hasn't fostered that approachable mentor-mentee relationship with his players. But asking your coach will do 2 things for you. First, it'll show the coach that you're serious about getting better and you want to improve your game. There are many players who just accept the fact that they're not playing much and either choose to do nothing about it, or they mistakenly think that they have no control over their playing time and they just hope that things get better. If you want more playing time, then you have to take it into your own hands and take action. Show the coach that you're serious about getting better and ask his opinion. That's why he's there. And second, he's going to tell you exactly what you need to work on. You could have some general idea about what you need to work on, but your coach will give you specific, detailed things for you to work on. This will make sure that you won't waste any time during your individual work. Tip number 2 is hustle is everything. Hustle is one thing that a coach will never overlook on a baseball field. Players who hustle will always be noticed, every time. In a coach's eyes, players who hustle everywhere look like they want to be there. And there's really 2 parts to this. The first part is, when I say hustle everywhere, I mean everywhere. Now, I don't mean a full-out sprint every single time, but you should have some pep in your step wherever you go. Be the first player to every spot you go. Every time you move areas of the field, you should be jogging at minimum. And the second part is, players who hustle are an example to their teammates and set the bar for what's expected. It's only natural that if a teammate sees another teammate hustling, they're automatically going to mimic that hustle because they don't want to look bad. This means that the whole team is hustling everywhere, and it's because of you. The coach will 100% take notice. In the coach's eyes, if you're hustling around practice and flying around the field making plays, you're going to do that same thing in the game. You look like a leader just by hustling, and coaches want leaders in the field. The third tip is individual work. Practice time alone won't be enough to really improve your baseball skills. If you have 2 practices per week that are each 2 hours, that's only 4 hours per week that you're assigning to baseball. To take it even further, those 4 hours aren't all dedicated to individual skill work. These next 2 statements are a little food for thought. 1. Individual skill work is the backbone to improving at anything in life, especially baseball. Compare baseball to school. Do you only focus on school during the school day and not outside of school? Also, is that entire school day completely focused on you and your improvement? Nope. The teacher has to focus on the whole class. That's why students are assigned homework, so they can do individual practice work at home to improve. Baseball is the exact same way. Coaches focus on the whole team during the practice time, but the thing is, I don't think a lot of them give homework to their players. It's up to the players, or you, to assign your own homework and work individually outside of your practice time to improve. 2. One thing I always told my players is you will be good at where you put your time. If you put your time into video games, you're going to be really good at video games. If you put your time into baking, you're going to be a great baker. If you put your time into baseball, you will be a great baseball player. If you don't put your time into baseball, you shouldn't expect to make a lot of improvements, just like anything else in life. Tip number 4, learn a new position. I'll keep this one simple. If you're a middle infielder and don't really play any other position, and there are 3 shortstops and 2 second basemen who play in front of you, it'll honestly take a miracle for you to see the field. Your team will have to be winning by a ton, or multiple people will have to miss the game for whatever reason. And this is way more common than you think. Players get attached to their favorite position that they play, and they want to beat out multiple levels of players in order to see the field. The easier way to play is to see how many people play each position on your team. If there's only one person playing right field, then learn how to play right field. It'll only be you and the other right fielder sharing time, and I'm sure that player will be relieved to get some rest sometimes instead of playing every inning. If a coach asks you at a tryout, what position do you play? The best answer that you can say is, I play everywhere, or anywhere you need me. You should never be limited by one position. Try to play as many as you can. Having 9 chances to see the field every inning is much better odds than having only 1 chance to see the field. And that's just something to think about. Tip number 5, become an expert. There will always be a time in a baseball game where the coaches need to call on a player that they can rely on. Most of the time, that's a pinch hitter or a pinch runner. The pinch runners are usually very good at base running and stealing. In addition to being able to hit, pinch hitters are also very good bunters. If you can practice being an expert base runner or an expert bunter, and you can show your coach that you can be relied on to get the job done, then you're going to see the field every single time that this situation arises. Before you go, I put this entire video into a PDF downloadable guide for you. It's free and you can take it with you to help you in your pursuit of more playing time. This free guide, How to Get More Playing Time, is down in the description, and it lays out everything we just discussed in this video for you to take with you. Be sure to grab it before you go. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope this video helped you understand that the amount of time that you see on the field is not up to your parents, it's not up to your coaches, it's in your hands. And you can get more playing time if you focus on these 5 tips. I'll see you next week for another edition of the Bullpen Bulletin.